Hello everyone, welcome to Gaga's Farmhouse. As you can see, I'm in the annex today, aka my car, because my husband is inside the doctor's office having a very minor procedure done, and I opted to stay out in the car. I do want to mention that it's spring in the Midwest because we're starting to have spring weather, which for us is tornado watches and severe thunderstorms. So that's what we've dealt with the past 2 nights. Here in Illinois, I'm thankful to have a basement now. We did not have one in Arkansas, so tornado warnings, we would have to go into a closet and sit in there for a while. So I'm glad we at least have a basement to go to. Now, today I want to talk about frugality. And I don't know, I think the word frugal gets a bad rap. Like it means you're cheap, or I don't know. I don't know, it just has a bad rap, I think. So I looked it up, and it says frugality is a tendency to acquire goods and services in a restrained manner, excuse me, and also a resourceful use of already owned goods and services to achieve a long-term goal. Yeah, that's a pretty good description. And I never thought about the long-term goal thing, but that's true. So why I'm talking about this today is because when you retire, you do have to be mindful of your money. And I like that word better than frugal, mindful. And it's nothing new to me. We don't have a fabulous retirement. We don't. And we have enough that we have enough, and that's enough for me. So this is nothing new to me because I grew up in a blue-collar family. My father worked sometimes 3 jobs. And I saw online one time they asked the question, what would have been a treat or something extravagant when you were growing up. And for us, that would have been a restaurant meal. Would have been an extravagance. I can't think of, maybe on one hand, growing up, how many times we ate in a restaurant. And most of that was when we were on vacation. And vacations were strictly spent visiting family in Tennessee or Florida. And no, it wasn't that Florida. It was the other Florida. Sugarcane fields, if you know what I mean. So I was always aware that we did not spend, we had everything we needed, but we didn't spend money flippantly or foolishly. If my mother wanted us to look really nice in the wintertime, she couldn't afford those beautiful wool coats with the velvet collars. That was just not going to be in the budget. We had 3 girls and 1 boy, so the 3 girls were not going to get the beautiful wool coats unless she sewed them herself, which she did. My mother was very talented. She was very hands-on. She was very do-it-yourself, and she was very creative. So we grew up, we did something creative every day. It was just no other way about it. So she made a lot of our clothes, and they were beautiful. My grandmother was a milliner, so back in the day, she made all our hats for Easter and whatever. So I learned to be mindful that way. A lot of things were put on layaway back then. So you found your items, excuse me, and then you paid a little on time to get them out of layaway, and it didn't include any interest. charges or anything. So the other thing I learned was thrifting, and it's this part about the resourceful use of already owned goods and services. So my mother shopped a lot of resale shops and antique stores, and I learned to do that, and actually I find it to be fun. So yes, I mean, I might have the money that I could go out and just go and get something, get home, and I'm done. Pay full price, buy it new. But I enjoy the hunt, and the hunt is the thing. So recently I was invited to a chili party. Excuse me again. And I thought, oh, I'd love to take cornbread, and I like to take the cornbread sticks. So they're baked in a cast iron pan, and they look like corn cobs, little corn cobs. And I used to have a pan years ago. I don't know, somehow in the moves it got relocated. So I thought, oh, corn cob pan, And I looked online, and they're like $25 to $35. And I went to my favorite place, this Facebook Marketplace. Oh, I love to that's entertainment to me. It's just to sit and scroll through Marketplace and see what's in there. And then some very good things. So I did find 3 of these pans that a woman was selling. So retail, that would be $75. She was right around the corner from me, and they were $15. So I went and got them. Now, didn't I need 3? No, I didn't really need 3, but she had 3. And then it was a very large party, so then I didn't have to put the pan in and out, 15 times to get as many cornbread sticks as I needed. So I wonder, do you buy new? Do you buy used? Do you do resale? How do you operate? Because, like I said, when you're retired, you do have to watch your money. And if you're conscious and spend with intent over here, then you can buy more things over there. So just let me know, how do you operate? Thanks a lot for joining. Gaga.